Welcome to Talk of the Town, presented by Tree City Sports, your source for local sports. I am your host, CJ McClure. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is an exciting episode. Obviously, we have a lot to cover because we have updates from week 1, week 2, hype going into week 3. We've got it all. So stay tuned for a very, very exciting episode. As always, we're rocking the shirt made by AM Creations in Ottawa, Kansas. Check them out for all of your custom shirt, hat, cup needs, whatever you would like made. They make a lot of amazing custom products. And as is my morning tradition, I stopped by Arrowhead Nutrition and got my morning drink. Stop by there for all of their wonderful nutritional shakes and energy teas. Make sure to make it a part of your morning routine the way that it is mine. And I want to give a shout out to our friend Royal's mom, Rita, at RJN Photography. Look them up on their Facebook page and book them for all of your photography needs. And our buddy Drew at D&N Detailing. The car show is right around the corner. It's so close we can almost taste it. When you want to get your car detailed up nice and show ready, hit up my buddy Drew at D&N Detailing. Alright, now that we got through that, I have a video recapping week 1 of the Ottawa Braves football season. I was able to be on the sidelines for their very first game, so I hope you enjoyed the video that we made to highlight week 1 for the Ottawa Braves. Enjoy! What's going on, y'all? It's CJ McClure with Tree City Sports back here to talk about the Ottawa Braves opening game of the 2024 football season. Their season opener, which was also their home opener for the season, ended in a disappointment as the Braves fell 41-0 to Southwestern. The first quarter was scoreless for both teams, but after that, going into the second, it all broke loose. About 6 seconds into the second quarter, Southwestern scored their first touchdown, and that led to a 28-0 lead at the half. They added to that lead with a field goal with 1 minute and 49 seconds left in the third quarter, and then added 10 more in the fourth quarter to bring the final score to 41-0. Inside the box score stats, Ottawa finished the game with 93 yards of offense. Southwestern, meanwhile, had 590 yards. Jordan Clay rushed for 33 yards on 8 attempts. DeAnthony Curtis led OU with 2 receptions. A.J. Hemphill led the Braves with 10 tackles. He played his heart out there. You could tell he was a man on a mission on the defensive side. He also had 1.5 sacks and 3 tackles for a loss. Cody Presley, Marcus Mendoza, and Ethan Fuentes had 6 tackles apiece. Presley and Ethan Yinger had an interception. And Elijah Handbluet had a huge sideline interception, a remarkable catch, and as he fell to the ground out of bounds, almost took me out as well. But it was an amazing play, and I just thankful to be right there to be able to witness such a great play by such a great player. Ottawa returns to action following their 0-1 start to the season on September 7th, where they traveled to Wichita, Kansas to face Friends University, where kickoff is scheduled for 6 p.m. I have some highlights and pictures and stuff that I would like to share from my experience getting to be on the sidelines for my very first Ottawa Braves football game. It was an absolutely incredible experience, and I cannot wait for the next one. I hope you guys enjoy all of the wonderful content that we have included in this. And also, we have an interview with Elijah Handbluet after the game. Enjoy. Mean we're official? Oh yeah, we're official, baby. CJ McClure with Tree City Sports out here reporting as the Braves kick off their 2024 football season, looking to defend their KCAC championship with a big W against Southwestern.
it shut up. We are gonna let our game speak for us. All those who face us knew we was no longer dreaming. We are the team that you came to be, because we became the team you need to be. Give us that crown, no need to hate on us. We worked it damn hard to get here. This is our year. We waited all year for this day. We have no fear. This is our turn when the clock hit 000. They will crown us as the champion. Give us our time, let it shine. We going to let the world see the new champs. Give us our ring. Put in the booth, take a closer look. This is what our fans waited for. We are here tonight because we worked all year to get here. We are giving our fans everything we got up from us to you. This is our year. We are playing for the title, and that title is ours to take. This is our year. Last year is in the books, and it is what it is. This is the year we give it everything we got. We going to leave our heart and blood out there, and win or lose, you going to we was here when that whistle blow. We become that beast that won't but let you sleep at night. How can you defend what you can't see? This is full press that you can feel in your chest. This is win or go where you wanna go. We are coming for that ring. We will never hear that fat lady sing. Call us the new age champ. This is our year. We waited all year for this day. We have no fear. This is our turn when the clock hit 000. We will be the new crown heroes. Give us our time to shine. We going to let the world see the new champs. Give us our ring. Put in the booth, take a closer look. This is what our fans waited for. We are here tonight because we worked all year to get here. We are giving our fans everything we got up from us to you. This is our year. All of us are champions in our own rights. We just going to stand above the best and be crowned the greatest. Are you ready for the new champ? Stand up and be heard, because you all helped get us here. We waited all year for this day. We have no fear. This is our turn when the clock hit 000. We will be the new crown heroes. Give us our time to shine. We going to let the world see the new champs. Give us our ring. Put it in the books, take a closer look. This is what our fans waited for. We are here tonight because we worked all year to get here. We are giving our fans everything we got up from us to you. This is our year. This is our year. This is the year we put it all on the line and leave everything behind. This is our turn. Are you ready for this? The fans are here. We are here. We are playing for the title, and that title is ours to take. Put in the to take.
We've reached the end of the first quarter where Southwestern is tied with the Braves 0-0. The Braves give up a touchdown with 14:54 to go in the second quarter.
We are giving our fans everything we got up from us to you. This is our year. This is our year.
at the end of the first half. We've reached the end of the third quarter with the Braves down 31-0. We're here with Elijah, who had a hell of an interception earlier. Man, just go through your thoughts of the game and how everything went out there. And how did it feel to be back on that field again?
Well, firstly, it felt great to be back out on the field. Everyone played a hard game. It was a tough game. We just couldn't find our foot. We gave up just some big shots. To end the half, got an interception after giving up one. So really a wash, but everyone played it hard out. Everyone played a tough game. We had some freshmen stand out. We had AJ, once again, have a great game as always. All around, everyone just played the hard side. It's football. Not everything goes your way, but yeah.
You guys played hard today. Congratulations on a hard-fought game, even though it ended in defeat. We're still rooting for you no matter what.
Thank you.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I had so much fun. I can't even put it into words while being at the game. And the game ended in disappointment, but it didn't take away from a great night with great fans and great players all around. I want to give the biggest shout out in the world to the Ottawa Braves football team for playing with your absolute heart and soul and leaving it all out on the field. I also want to give a huge thank you to Janet Eaton-Smith, the athletic director at OU, for introducing herself to me and allowing me to be a part of such a wonderful program. Thank you so much. That's all I have for you today, but until next time, y'all take care now. Now that we got through week one, it's time to move on to week two. We're going to start off with scores from around the Big 12 in week two. BYU pulled off the win against SMU. Awesome job representing the Big 12 for them. Sam Houston lost to UCF 45-14. UCF making the Big 12 proud. And we'll get to hear from Big 12 Santa Knight here in a little bit. West Virginia stomping UAlbany. Man, again, Big 12 teams crushing the competition. But in week two, the Big 12 had a lot of very close games. And in a lot of cases, the Big 12 represented really well, as Iowa State pulled off the victory against number 21 Iowa in the Cyhawk game. They pulled it off. They won 20-19 on a last-second field goal for the win. I mean, they missed a field goal earlier in the game, and it just seemed like, man, maybe that was going to be something that really hurt them in the end. But it turned out that they were able to make up for it and kick the winning field goal at the end and win the game. Good job, Iowa State. Number 11 Utah picked up the win against Baylor in what was technically a non-conference game, but it's a conference game to us Big 12 fans. And Utah picked up the win 23-12. Cincinnati lost a heartbreaker to Pitt. It was a 1-point loss, 28-27. Again, the Big 12 had a lot of very, very close games in week 2, but they showed themselves in most cases. And to have a lot of close games is really great. I mean, non-conference games are always important every year. It doesn't matter. They always are important to the schedule. Arizona State picking up the win against Mississippi State 30-23. Again, representing the Big 12 in a game in a 1-point victory. Washington State, however, crushed Texas Tech's dreams of continuing that trend by beating them 37-16. The year started off pretty disappointing fashion for Texas Tech, but we're hoping the Red Raiders can get back on track and maybe put together some good wins down the stretch. Arizona beating North Arizona 22-10. We look forward to Arizona playing at K-State in Manhattan on Friday. So look forward to that game because we are excited. We cannot wait for the cat fight. Bring it on, Arizona. TCU beating Long Island 45-0. Big 12 showing out. Now I get it. It's basically a nobody team, but it's a good warm-up game for TCU. Hopefully they can continue the trend, and they go into their game in week 3 against UCF, so it'll be a good matchup. Houston, another heartbreaker as they fall to number 15, Oklahoma, the former Big 12 member, and what would have been should have been a conference game had Oklahoma not moved to the SEC. It was a 4-point loss, but it was a big, big loss for Houston, and it's not good. We always want to see the Big 12 doing great things and proving well, but they fought hard and they ended up falling short, but it's all right. And as Big 12 fans, obviously, we want to see Houston get back on a winning track, but we're hoping they put together some good wins this season. Who knows? In the Big 12, you never know. It could be anybody's game when it really gets into conference play. This one. Oh my Lord. This was so bad for the Big 12, and not just bad for the Big 12, but for Deion Sanders in Colorado, as they pretty much just got whooped by Nebraska, and the former Big 12 members held their own at home and crushed Colorado 28-10. And man, it was just a bad showing. And Shedeur Sanders leaving the game early. You could see Travis Hunter was heated on the sidelines. It was not a good day for Colorado. But as Big 12 fans, we want to try to support them. So we hope that maybe they can figure out some of their issues and maybe get back on a winning track. I know I've said that a whole bunch. I don't know why I keep using it, but I keep using it. So you're welcome. Man, another really, really close game, and one I want to touch on a little bit. I'm sorry, I'll give you a little bit for this one. Number 19, KU. They're promising this year. They're going to be great this year, right? Right? Illinois beat KU 23-17. And let's check in on how the Heisman hopeful Jalen Daniels fared in this game. He went 18 for 32, threw for 141 yards with 2 touchdowns. However, he threw 3 interceptions and had a 32.4 QBR. Lost a fumble as well. I mean, last play, basically their last shot in the game, he fumbled the ball and Illinois picked it up. I mean, fell on it. He did not look good in this game. He didn't look good. I'll say that. And yeah, I'm just giving you a little bit. Obviously, as Big 12 fans, we would like our teams in our conference to do good things. So maybe, who knows, maybe KU can turn it around. But if they don't, expect Lance Leipold's wife to be ripping your fans again on Twitter. That was... I'll pull that up here in a second. You'll get to see those. I screenshotted it. I kept receipts, KU fans. Devin Neal was a bright spot, having 14 carries for 101 yards. At least he broke 100 yards rushing. I mean, Devin Neal's a good player. I will say he is a really good running back in the Big 12. And, you know, as a Kansas kid, I want to see him succeed. Let's check in with how one of their best trash talkers, Kobe Bryant, fared. Oh, he had 3 total tackles. That was his stat line for the game. Sorry, KU fans. Let's go State. I'm sorry. I love you, KU, but I will give you a little bit of a rubbing. Not the kind you'd like, promise. Oklahoma State pulled out a very, very close one as well. 39-31 over Arkansas. Big 12 SEC matchup. And the Cowboys came through and they won the game. Some good stats from this team. I mean, really. Ollie Gordon didn't break 100 yards rushing, but he played in big time moments, and he played when they needed him most. Alex Bowman threw 27 for 48, 326 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Carried the ball 5 times for 7 yards. Ollie Gordon had 17 carries for 49 yards and 1 rushing touchdown, 2 receptions for 20 yards. Brennan Presley was a bright spot, 9 receptions for 91 yards and a touchdown. 10 yards a catch, that's pretty good. Good job, bud. Rashad Owens had 5 receptions, 64 yards. Jake Schultz had 1 reception, 63 yards. Wow. That was a good play. If you go back and watch it, I don't have the clip, but go back and watch it. It was a really, really impressive play. Cody Waltersheed and Shea Freebaum had a 1 fumble recovery each. Trey Rucker had 17 tackles. Nick Martin had 16 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss. Obi Ezigbo had 9 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3.5 tackles for loss. And Cale Smith had an interception, returned 73 yards to the house for a touchdown as the Cowboys pick up the win against an SEC foe. Go Big 12, go Cowboys. And the one that matters the most to us here at Tree City Sports, because obviously we love our Kansas State Wildcats. Every man a Wildcat, let's go State. K-State picked up a close win. Again, another 1 possession win for a Big 12 team. But we beat Tulane, number 17 ranked team in the nation. Picked up the 34-27 win over Tulane. Avery Johnson went 15 for 23, 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. No interceptions. Sorry, Jalen. You're just not on the level of Avery. And I'd feel comfortable saying that. Thank you very much. You're welcome. He had 40 yards on 8 rushes as well. DJ Giddens, 114 yards on 19 carries. 4 receptions for 63 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. And Dylan Edwards, 54 yards on 4 rushes, over 10 yards a carry. I mean, impressive. And he had a rushing touchdown. Dylan Edwards gets the ball more as we move into Big 12 play. Look for this offense to be really, really explosive. Because Dylan Edwards, once he shows his true potential, is going to add so much to this team that you're not going to know who to cover between him, Jace Brown, DJ Giddens, and Avery Johnson, plus the other pieces that are going to be left open by the time you take the time and the effort to cover all of those pieces, especially if we start running formations with both DJ and Dylan Edwards in the backfield with Avery at the same time. It's going to be exciting, and I look for them to utilize those 3 a lot more. Those 4 with Jace Brown especially. I look for them to utilize their weapons on offense in a glorious way as we move through Big 12 conference play. Keegan Johnson had 3 receptions for 51 yards. Pretty dang good. Will Swanson had 3 receptions for 18 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Riley had 8 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. Austin Romaine also had 8 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles for a loss. VJ Payne, 7 total tackles, but what mattered most was the game-saving interception on Tulane's final drive. Their last-ditch effort, VJ Payne comes up with the huge game-saving interception to seal the game for the Wildcats. Austin Moore had 6 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for a loss. Him and Austin Romaine are both going to do great things for the Wildcats on defense this year, and I cannot wait to see it personally. Jacob Parrish had 6 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. Jack Fabris had a fumble recovery in a big-time moment when it mattered most. And it's all these different pieces that K-State has. They have a little bit of stuff to figure out maybe on the secondary, but they'll get it together as we move through Big 12 conference play, and they're going to learn to play together, and they're going to do great things as a team. Chris Tennant went 2 for 3 on field goals with a 48-yard longest, and he went 4 for 4 on extra points. So, they say extra points, every point matters. Those extra points really are important sometimes. If it comes down to a 1-score game like we saw in Iowa State, those extra points are very important. Moving on to OU's Week 2 matchup. I was hoping to go to the game at Friends University, but I wasn't able to. And I had some car trouble, and it just didn't work out. But we will be there on Saturday for OU's second home game as they look to bounce back. The Ottawa Braves were looking to avenge their opening day loss as they traveled to Wichita to face the Falcons of Friends University. The Braves came out hot, driving down the field and scoring on their opening possession. Taylor Eggers threw a 33-yard touchdown dime to Kavion Long on 4th down as the Braves took the 7-0 lead. The Falcons answered with a 6-yard touchdown run by Elias Pino, tying the game at 7-7. The Friends added 7 more towards the end of the first quarter, courtesy of a Taylor Eggers interception returned 17 yards for a touchdown by Braden Gordon. Nick Cordova finished off a 90-yard drive with a 21-yard touchdown run, extending the Falcons' lead 21-7. Cavante Baker took a 2-yard run into the end zone with 1:11 remaining in the first half as the Falcons of Friends continued the onslaught, going ahead 28-7. Cole Thompson kicked a 24-yard field goal with 10:41 to go in the third quarter as the Falcons continue the lead 31-7. DJ Dangle ran in the final score with 29 seconds left in the third quarter, putting the score in its final resting place as Friends holds on to win 38-7. Taylor Eggers threw for 101 yards and 1 touchdown. That touchdown dime he threw really showed his potential for what he can do in this Ottawa offense. And there are some things that they can improve on. But I think as the season goes on, they're going to learn how to play together collectively in a great way. And they're going to turn the season around and they're going to compete in a better way for another KCAC championship. And we are absolutely rooting for them to go after and win, another KCAC championship. Go Braves.
Hit 'em with that hit stick. Hit 'em with that hit stick. Stick.
Ayy, give me the chip, I need the championship. Wait, we got a drink next to the team, yeah, we can handle it. Wait, soon as I go and I step in arenas, they call me the champ. They know what it is, know what I do, know who I am, who don't understand. Yeah, that's overdue. My trophy say that's overdue. My ring, said to be immortalized. Yeah, they know it's true. They couldn't walk a mile or even fit into my shoes. Still, I got a lot to prove, but for all that we've been through, this overdue. This the anthem. Pull up and you know the team is strong. This your anthem. All my underdogs. Everybody get your hands up. Times was hard, but we made it through. We were struggling for a minute, so that winning overdue. Yeah. They know it's true.
With the loss, the Braves fall to 0-2 on the season. They look to get back on the winning track and contend for another KCAC championship when they face Bethel at home on Saturday. Kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m. and we will be there on the sidelines. We'll be reporting from tailgate. We can't wait because game day atmosphere at an Ottawa Braves football game is just incredible. And we love our hometown Braves. Otter on. Other scores from the KCAC in Week 2. Sterling fell to 0-2 as they fell to McPherson 42-30, who move on to 1-1 on the season. St. Mary's also fell to 0-2 as they lost to 2-0 Bethel 33-17. Bethel is on a hot streak going into their game against Ottawa. Hopefully Ottawa can slow down their momentum moving forward. Tabor fell 33-17 as well to Evangel as Evangel moved to 2-0 and Tabor sits at 1-1. Kansas Wesleyan had a dominating win. K-Dub won 54-16 against Bethany, who's 0-2 on the season, as Kansas Wesleyan moved to 1-1. Southwestern pulled off another impressive 40-point win. They scored 40 points, moving to 2-0 on the season as they beat Avila 40-21. Avila moves to 1-1 on the season. Now, Parker is really busy this week with baseball and college and stuff, so we're giving him a break, let him relax and enjoy his time. We will have him back, I promise, because having him on the show is absolutely awesome for us. And we thank him for all that he has done for Tree City Sports. But it is time to move on to our Kansas Athlete Spotlight, presented by Arrowhead Nutrition. Stop by there, make sure to make it a part of your morning routine the way that it is mine. First up, we are moving into some Ottawa Braves football players to start. These guys play really, really hard, and we just want to make sure they're getting the recognition that they truly deserve because we love our hometown Braves. Brandon Doles, last year as a sophomore, Doles backed up all KCAC performer A.J. Hemphill at linebacker. AJ is such a wonderful player, and we are so glad to have him in a Braves uniform. Doles finished the season with 4 tackles. He was a CSC Academic All-District selection and was a KCAC and Daktronic Scholar athlete. In 2022, Doles finished his freshman season with 7 tackles. In high school, Doles earned letters in football, 3 letters in football, 4 in wrestling and baseball at Lewisburg High School, not very far from here. He's a local kid to us. He was a 3-time state qualifier in wrestling and took place in the top 8 twice. Incredible stuff. Doles was a first-team All-League selection at linebacker. He earned honorable mention All-State honors at linebacker, was a second-team All-League selection as an outfielder, earned honorable mentions All-State honor as a pitcher and infielder in baseball as well. His brother Desmond Doles was also a member of the Ottawa University football team. Next up, we have Jordan Clay. I don't have many stats from his career, but I just want to give you a huge shout out. Jordan Clay, I watch you play, and I want you to know that you do not go unrecognized to us here at Tree City Sports. Keep up the good work, man. Next up, we have Jensen Riffle. In 2023, Riffle finished the season with 46 tackles, 18 solo, and 28 assisted, earning honorable mention All KCAC. He had 4 tackles for a loss and 2.5 sacks. Looking to build on an impressive season last year and continue that this year. As a redshirt sophomore in 2022, he was second on the team in tackles with 64, 36 solo, and 28 assisted. Again, 2 seasons in a row with 28 assisted tackles. That's the definition of consistency, and that's what you want to see from your defensive players. He had 5.5 tackles for a loss, 1 sack, 1 pass breakup, and 1 fumble recovery in 2022 as well. 2021, in his COVID freshman season, he had 33 tackles, 16 solo, 17 assisted, 5.5 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. In 2020, he finished the year with 29 tackles, 12 solo, 17 assisted as a freshman, and he had 1 tackle for a loss. In high school, he lettered in football, basketball, baseball, and track at Center High School. He played in the Kansas 8-man All-Star game, and earned All-District, All-League, and All-State honors. On the baseball diamond, he helped CHS to the Kansas State baseball tournament. He's undecided on a major. He grew up on a small farm and graduated from Center High School with a class of 15 students. That's impressive coming from a small school. Congratulations, Jensen, on being one of our featured athletes on our Kansas Athlete Spotlight, and continue the good work for the OU Braves. Moving on, we have Hayden Engman. At 2023, he was OU's backup long snapper as a redshirt junior. In 2022, he was a redshirt sophomore. He was a member of the JV team. In 2021, he was part of the JV team in his COVID freshman season. He was the Braves long snapper in 2020, finishing the year with 1 tackle on special teams. And in high school, Engman lettered in football at Blue Springs South High School. Again, a Kansas kid. Congratulations. Moving on to the next Kansas athlete spotlight, we have Eric McQueen, 2023 as a redshirt junior. McQueen was number 2 on the depth chart at tight end and was part of the OU special teams. He finished the season with 9 receptions for 97 yards and 1 touchdown. He averaged 12.1 receiving yards per game. That's impressive. Good job, Eric. In 2022, McQueen played on the Braves special team and was second on the depth chart at tight end again as a redshirt sophomore. In 2021, he had 2 tackles on special teams and recovered 1 fumble in his COVID freshman season. In 2020, McQueen was the backup tight end as a freshman for the Braves. He's on the depth chart, man. He's continued to be on the depth chart his entire career, and he's an impact player. He may not show up as much in the box score, but trust me, he's out there making an impact for this team, and we are so grateful to have him on here. In high school, McQueen lettered in football, basketball, and track at Baker High School. On the football field, he led the Gators to a 4-year record of 50-4 with 2 state runner-up finishes, and he was a 2018 second-team All-State selection and earned first-team All-State honors in 2019. Congratulations, Eric. We are so grateful to have you here at OU, and we cannot wait to see how you finish the season. This one's special. I saw him on the sidelines in their first game, and just the energy this kid brings and what he brings to the table on and off the field for the Braves is absolutely incredible. So this is a very special one. We're giving the shout out, the spotlight to Rhett Anderson. 2024, he was named honorable mention all KCAC. He was named the KCAC Special Teams Player of the Week 3 times. He was 6 for 13 in field goal attempts with a long of 42 yards. And he was 40 for 42 in extra point attempts and has scored 58 points. And those are actually stats from last season, 2023. But I messed that up. That's on me, my bad. He is a transfer from the University of Michigan, all the way from the Big Ten to the KCAC to be representing the Ottawa Braves in glorious fashion. We are so grateful to have you come to Ottawa and to be able to watch you play. It's awesome. At Michigan, he spent the 2021 and 2022 as a member of the football team, and he appeared in 1 game in 2022 as a place kicker and converted on a point after attempt. Anderson was a 2022 academic Big Ten honoree. That's an impressive stat in and of itself, because it's not only the impact that you make on the field, it's the impact you make off the field in the locker room with your teammates, your coaches, the community, everybody around you. Congratulations. Way to be a team player in every single situation. I know watching you play from the sidelines is a lot of fun, and we can't wait to watch you finish the season. He also went to Hampton, Sydney, spent 2 years as a place kicker and a punter, played 19 games, scoring 96 points. He was a 2019 second team academic All-American Division III. He was a 2-time All-ODAC selection, finished 15 of 20 on field goals, 75%, and 51 of 51, a perfect mark on PATs. He averaged 36.9 yards per punt on 68 career attempts, and he had 11 punts down inside of the 20 with 16 fair catches. Again, solid stats here for him, and he has all the experience in the world coming into the season for OU. He played 1 season at Christopher Newport University as well. In high school, he graduated from Poquoson High School in 2017. He was coached by Elliott Duty and lettered in basketball and track and field while at Poquoson as well. Congratulations, Rhett. again, we cannot wait to see how the season unfolds for you and the Ottawa Braves. We also have Ontario White. In 2023, White was named to the 2023 KCAC football preseason Bethel division team, and he helped them win the KCAC championship last year. In 2022, White finished the season with 14 receptions for 146 yards and 1 touchdown. He averaged 10.4 yards per reception and 18.2 receiving yards per game. He redshirted in 2021. He spent 2 years at Highland Community College and played on the football team there. In high school, he lettered in football at Lancaster High School, and he was a second-team all-district selection. I asked Trevor Concher about, what newcomer he thought made the most impact and might make the most impact, and who had impressed him, not just freshmen, but the newcomer to this team, and which one impressed him the most. And this was his response. The newcomer that's not a newcomer that impressed me for making his first start is right tackle Tony Cordova. We're working hard this week to have a better result and play better as a team this week versus Friends. That was from the previous week, but it didn't get included because we didn't record an episode then. So it's in here now. Thank you so much, Trevor, for your input, and we cannot wait to talk to you again at the game on Saturday. Moving on to some Central Heights cross-country news. We have a special excerpt from Coach Troy Prosser regarding his student athletes, and they are doing a wonderful job to start the season. We can't wait to see what the season holds. Blazing might be a word used to describe the nearly 100-degree heat index at Burlington, but it even more accurately defines the pace we set for the first meet of the season. After what seemed like a very, very long summer and first few weeks of practice, we finally got to test ourselves against outside competition. We finished with 19 personal records, 27 medals, and 3 first-place team finishes. Only tell a small part of the story. The boys showed a level of depth that isn't often seen in cross country. The JV boys swept the top 10 medals and put 13 in the top 16 in the first high school race of the day. Incredible. Then the varsity boys knew there would be some competition individually with the defending 1A state champions and the 5th place finishers in their race. Connor took the top spot halfway through the race and finished it off with Cody Hammond placing second, 10 seconds back. Owen, third, nearly gave us the top 3 finishers, but wisely didn't kick in a race we didn't need it in. Stinson finished second, ran fantastic. Myers brothers, Joam and Josiah, got 7th and 8th. Got to run their first race together, and Christian got 9th, rounding out our placing, giving us all 7 boys in the top 9. It was good enough for a perfect team score of 15 points. For the varsity girls, Lily's 2nd place finish in our high school prep debut paced Ebony 4th and Melanie 5th, who also established themselves as a near front runner pretty early in a 2-mile race that was shortened from a 5K due to heat and the absence of a 4K course being available. They kept moving up place by place through the last mile when Caitlin Tent joined them in the top 10 to give us our 4 medalists. Arabella finished the scoring as our 5th runner, and Maya was poised throughout her first cross-country race. The team finished first with 20 points, 16 ahead of the 2nd place team. It was a great follow-up to Faith running 2nd and Grace 10 medaling in the JV race. The middle schoolers also got into the mix with 4 of 6 runners, Mackenzie, Camden, Elizabeth, Emery, In the medals, while Rodney and Mackenzie set new personal bests, one of the most enjoyable parts of coaching this group of kids is how much effort they put forth not only into their own workouts and races, but in supporting each other, cheering on all of their teammates, whether they are middle schoolers, high schools, boys or girls. Everyone has each other's backs, and our success directly reflect that camaraderie. Next week, we travel to Melbourne Lake to compete at the London Invite. In the varsity boys 2 mile, the team placed first place with 15 points. First place was Connor Berkdahl, setting a personal record of 10 minutes, 25 seconds. Second was Cody Hammond, setting a personal record of 10 minutes, 35 seconds. Fourth place was Owen Miller, setting a personal record of 10 minutes and 44 seconds. Sixth was Stenson Miller, who set a personal record as well with 11 minutes, 17 seconds. Seventh was Johan Meyer, set a personal record with 11 minutes, 29 seconds, 29.06 seconds, as he barely beat his brother, who finished 8th. Josiah Meyer finished with a time of 11:29:10. That is incredible. That's 400ths of a second slower than his brother. I mean, those two are neck and neck and got to finish the race together. That's incredible to see from brothers. And 9th place was Christian McCord, who finished with a personal record of 11 minutes, 52 seconds. Varsity girls 2 mile, team placed first place, took first place with 20 points. Second was Lily Berkdahl with a time of 14:09. Fourth was Ebony Hughes with a time of 15:04. Fifth was Melanie Christjohn with a time of 15:06. 10th was Caitlin Detweiler with a time of 16:01. 20th was Arabella Dunbar, who finished with a time of 17:13. And 22nd was Maya Aceborn, who finished with a time of 17:29, setting a personal record. There are a lot more here on this list that did an incredible job, but it's a lot to read. I will post on one of the social pages the list of all the athletes and how they finished. Go check that out. They did absolutely wonderful, from the JV team to the varsity team, boys, girls, high school, middle school. They all did a wonderful job. Congratulations to the Central Heights cross country team. And nominated by Coach Orick from Piper High School in Kansas City. They have a few players to watch as nominated by Coach Orick. Tanner McDaniel, Keith Slaughter, Roman Byers being our top skill guys, and they should all be great players this year. Congratulations, boys. And that ends our Kansas Athlete Spotlight, presented by Arrowhead Nutrition. Stop by there and make sure to make it a part of your morning routine the way that it is mine. We are so thankful to be able to bring you these wonderful athletes in our Kansas Athlete Spotlight. Do not forget to show your support to all of our local athletes. And you have any nominations for who we should feature on our Athlete Spotlight, let us know. We are wanting to feature as many great athletes from the state of Kansas as we possibly can. And we love your support in all of this. Thank you guys so much. Now we move on to something really, really special. We have a few very, very special guests joining us for Tree City Sports for Talk of the Town. First, we have Big 12 Santa Night. Hailing from the Night Pole, it's Ryan, better known as Big 12 Santa Night. A UCF sports enthusiast, he bleeds black and gold. Combining his two favorite things, Santa Claus and UCF, he is UCF's resident Santa. Please welcome Ryan, a.k.a. the Big 12 Santa Night.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Santa Night. You can find me over at Big 12 Santa Night on X. We are 2 weeks into the UCF football schedule, and I could not be more happy. A win against New Hampshire, a win against Sam Houston State, and our running backs are as advertised. Run, run, run the ball all the game long. That's exactly what we need to be doing. That's exactly what we are doing. And it doesn't matter how KJ Jefferson has been playing. I know that the UCF fans want him to throw a touchdown, but right now, running the ball is working, and we're winning games, and I like our chances in the Big 12 this year. I really, really do. Now, we need to continue what we're doing. And if we do just that, Santa Night is going to be delivering a lot of nightmares across Big 12 country this year. Go, go, go Knights! Charge on.
Thank you so much for that, Big 12 Santa Night. And our next special guest, he sent this to me a week ago. We haven't had an episode to throw it in, but I promise I'm going to throw it in there. A newcomer on the block in the world of West Virginia sports reporting. We have Josh Toney giving us an update for week 1 of West Virginia. Josh, take it away, bud.
What's up, guys? My name's Josh Toney. I'm from West Virginia. I'm a dad. I have 2 kids. My son, he turns 3 in November, and my daughter, she just turned 1 in May. Married. Huge Mountaineers fan. For anybody that's not from West Virginia, there's no pro sports team here. West Virginia is the only major college in the entire state, so the Mountaineers, people bleed blue and gold here. This flying WV, it just means more to the people of West Virginia. And so Saturday, the Penn State game, it was a big one, and needless to say, it was a pretty big disappointment for 1.8 million. Let me break it down for you, hillbilly style. First off, I think we need to give credit where credit's due. Penn State, they look solid. They look solid from kickoff to the final whistle. Did not look like a James Franklin teams of the past. Last year, I think it was either a 1 or 2 possession game in Happy Valley going into the 4th quarter. But this year in Morgantown, hostile environment, 62,000, raucous, rowdy fans, just eager, chomping at the bit, waiting on this Mountaineer team to get kick off its season. Because there's a lot of hype surrounding this team. But credit to Penn State. They come in and they shut that noise up, pretty much straight from the start. For this Mountaineer team, there's a lot of veterans on this squad, a lot of veterans in the offense, a lot of experience, especially at quarterback. Even the offensive line, even after losing Zach Frazier and Doug Nesher last season, there's a lot of experience on that line. And I understand Penn State's pass defense and rush defense is pretty solid. But the offensive line for the Mountaineers really just they really just didn't show up Saturday against the Nittany Lions. Garrett Green, he's got a lot of experience, played a lot of snaps for the Mountaineers. Pretty much from the start had this 2 errant snaps. He didn't see him scrambling around, didn't see him leaving the pocket, making plays with his feet. That's what he's used to doing. But credit to Penn State, like I said, they had a smile on him the whole game. And it was just hard for him to break loose. Jaheim White, he looked good in the first half before getting injured. Wyatt Milam, left tackle, he's projected to be a 1st or 2nd round pick in the draft next year. He looked really good in the first half and did not play in the second half. He experienced full body cramps, and Coach Brown said it was it's tough for him because he's extremely well prepared. Does the nutrition, gets all of his sleep, does all the stuff after hours you don't see or hear about, and experienced those full body cramps and couldn't go in the second half. Josiah Trotter, he looked good, redshirt freshman linebacker. He had 10 tackles, one pass breakup, and he looked good. Like I said, to show up against your first career collegiate game against a top 10 team in that rowdy environment, show up like that, that's something to keep in mind. I see a lot of fans on the media, social media, talking about, another long season. Here we go. Fire Neil Brown. Fire this, fire that. It's one game. We're week 1 into the season. And let me tell you, let's talk about Don Nehlen, possibly the greatest coach, definitely the greatest coach in Mountaineer history, but maybe one of the greatest college football coaches ever in history. He was 2-10 against the Nittany Lions in his career in Morgantown. Neil Brown's 0-2. So, I mean, I don't think we need to hit the panic button just yet. We don't need to be hollering fire Neil Brown. The next 4 out of 6 opponents are ranked. So let's wait a month and a half into the season. Then let's make an evaluation, see where we're at. If we're 2-5 in that stretch, yeah, sure, let's fire Neil Brown. But we're 0-1, people. Calm down. It's a long season. There's 11 more games to play. Let's go Mountaineers.
Thank you so much, Josh. That was great. And we cannot wait to have you back on the show in the future. You are doing awesome work on your own, and we cannot wait to see you grow into a wonderful sports reporter.
The 13th ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys found themselves in an epic hogfight to keep their CFP hopes alive, and my alma mater Falcons, although somewhat flightless, not only are running through the KCAC, but the entire country better be ready as well.
You are Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone in KCAC country and NAIA. My name is Cody Stovall with Locked On Oklahoma State. You can find me daily on the Locked On Oklahoma State show. I also do some national 7-on-7 high school recruiting coverage. Make sure that you go follow me at Aldeo State. But this is for J.C. McClure doing his thing over with the Ottawa Braves. I got to give him a hard time about my friends Falcons. But before I do that, I do have to discuss my Oklahoma State Cowboys. They are 2-0. That is the biggest storyline you can discuss here. If you want to talk about the fact that they gave up 750 yards or 650 yards in doing so, that's fair. If you want to talk about the fact that this offensive line is returning 172 starts with the 5 main dudes, plus another 220 starts when you factor in the guys behind them, this is supposed to be a road grader unit, but thus far it hasn't been. In the week 1 win over South Dakota State, Ollie Gordon's Heisman campaign kicked off somewhat pedestrian with 126 yards. For Ollie Gordon, that is impressive. Even though South Dakota State is a team that won 29 games in a row and back-to-back FCS national titles, they got to learn to lose. They did that. We taught them some lessons, but they taught us some lessons as well. Up front, that number of starts is not producing on the field as it should. This is the most experienced Oklahoma State team pretty much ever in history. The first 2 games, we didn't look like it. And then Arkansas was pegged to be one of the lower tier teams in the SEC. I do think that we've seen now that's not exactly the case, because the Cowboys, for whatever the speed department may have been lacking against Arkansas, size, strength, continuity, and the fact that we have 56 upperclassmen that decided to return instead of enter the portal should say a lot about this Oklahoma State ball team. But unfortunately, again, we're not seeing the same thing on the field. We did get the W. We did find a way for Alan Bowman to make a comeback in the second half after an abysmal performance in the very beginning. Same can be said for the offensive coordinator, Casey Dunn. First half, don't know what was happening, don't know where the scripting came from, but it wasn't working. Thankfully, he made the adjustments in the second half, as did defensive coordinator Brian Nardo. Coming in from Gannon University, this is really the year that he must show that his iteration of the 3-3-5 can not only make do in the Big 12, but have a little bit of a thriving capability as well. Unfortunately, we did lose one of our All-American linebackers in Colin Oliver. We had a transfer step up in Obi Ezegbo that filled in very admirably. Nick Martin is continuing to be on pace for yet another All-American season, leading the Big 12 in so many categories. It's going to be crazy if he doesn't end up as one of the top draft picks in the linebacker position coming out of this next season. Offensively, of course, they shut down Ollie Gordon. They took the recipe to success that South Dakota State showed, and they were able to implement it to a degree that most didn't see coming. So the Cowboys now have the opportunity to kind of get right, but again, you have to be undefeated. That's part of the good. Another part of the good is the second half adjustments. The first half and the second half, two entirely different games. And if the coordinators do not make those adjustments, which I'm assuming Mike Gundy had a hand in that, right? I don't know if it was a chewing out departmental thing or it was just a, hey, get your stuff together before I start calling the plays style of conversation. But whatever it was, it worked. Second half adjustments were absolutely phenomenal, and they were enough. We put enough pressure on them defensively to cause some turnovers, and sometimes you need those to climb back in the game. They did do more than enough to give us ample opportunity to win the game, but the football gods can only put you in a position. You have to capitalize. Cowboys were able to do so, multiple wide receivers getting into the end zone, and again, Alan Bowman settling down in the second half. Coming into the overtime period, that is when Ollie Gordon finally did kind of pop out of his shell. Arkansas did a phenomenal job, not only slowing him down, but defensively, they're much quicker than most everybody in the country anticipated, including us here in Oklahoma State country. You got to be undefeated. That's part of the good. The adjustments are part of the good. The wins part of the good. This is a big deal for recruiting because we do go up against Arkansas more often than not in our recruiting battles for not only Oklahoma kids, but some of the guys in the Texas area and the Arkansas area. Friends University has a lot of Texas individuals because it's a recruiting hotbed. Games like this for Oklahoma State are going to be huge in maintaining a little bit of a solidification in the recruiting process at home because Arkansas's coach, Sam Pittman, is an Okie from Grove that has several Oklahoma connections. So for perception purposes, that also is part of the good. The bad, the offensive line. Another bad was the defensive line. We do have enough athletic talent to hockey style rotate these guys, but again, in the production department, it's not living up to expectations. There's a little bit of over pursuing defensively. There's a little bit of invasive eye discipline for whatever reason. Sometimes you have to be able to match the technique and the size and the skill with also having the ability to track the ball. If you can't see the ball carrier, you're going to have some issues. The season is only going to get harder. But again, the ugly. The ugly is you allowed 650 yards. The ugly is you put yourself in such a precarious position to start the game that it took an epic run to make it happen. It took some disastrous things on their part to have happen. That all is part of the ugly. For an offensive line that is returning this many starts, and for a team that returns 20 starters and 90% of the roster, this should not be this way. Should we be absolutely boat racing these teams? Probably not, because they are good. But now it's our opportunity to get right. I've been diagnosing some of the Tulsa film, and for some of the deficiencies that we have on the offensive line and the defensive line, they have the same problems. So we should be able to exploit Tulsa this week, not only from a roster and depth standpoint, size, strength, speed, but this should be a time where the offensive line says, you know what, we're going to grab our bootstraps and we're going to go to work and go to war because that blue-collar mentality is not something that we have working for us. The Cowboys are a very talented team. I would say the most talented team in the Big 12. There is going to be plenty of tests because we have to get past Tulsa to get to Utah. Tulsa is going to be prepared. They do have several Okies, including a couple former Cowboys that would have been big time in Stillwater if they would have stayed put. But this is the NIL transfer market era that we get to deal with. And that's the crazy part about some of these lower level teams is it's not like it used to be. These lower level teams have so many transfers now that have come from big time Power 3, Power 4 level schools that have starting or playing experience. So you can't always pinpoint who's going to be the main contributors to help you win the game and who's going to be the main contributors that you need to slow down to ensure that you do, in fact, win the game. I don't know that we know all of that with Tulsa. We do have to slow down Braylon Presley. They do have a plethora of wide receivers that can get it done. They've got a couple different quarterbacks that can, rotate, right? So they can go with the RPO style of system for one guy and they can implement the same thing with the other guy and there not be much of a drop-off. That's going to be difficult for anybody. especially an Oklahoma State team that hasn't looked as amazing as they should have. Again, South Dakota State, good test. Arkansas, a much better test than we even realized at the time. I think at the end of the year, we will circle that W as one of the biggest reasons why the Cowboys do, in fact, still get into the CFP. You're hearing that Cam Rising has an injury with Utah. We're hoping and praying that he's going to be healthy for the Oklahoma State game. You're hearing reports that he will be. So as we look forward to this Tulsa game, it's more about us getting things dialed in the right way and seeing some of the young cast, because we do have a couple of injuries at linebacker, which means we're going to have to elevate some of the younger kids. It would be nice to see them in live game scenarios, but we can't overlook Tulsa. Again, in the transfer market area, you do not know who's going to pop up and become a massive problem. You do have multiple former Cowboys on this team that have been chomping at the bit and circled this game on their schedule for quite some time. So you do have to be prepared. But in this preparation, we need to be prepared to show the country that this offensive line is not as soft as it kind of appears they are in the run department. Pass pro, different story. We have to get the run blocking down in order for us to have the success that we want to have and end up in the CFP and win a Big 12 title. All of that is still achievable. We have to get the run game established. One team that doesn't have an issue establishing the run game is my alma mater, the Friends Falcons. Now, I played wide receiver, so it'd be fun to see them launch it through the air a little bit more often, but it doesn't appear as so that's going to happen. And that's okay, because the Falcons have led the NAIA 2 years ago in a row in rushing, and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. The last conversation I had with Coach Harrison, he basically referred to the fact that last year they led the NAIA, not just the KCAC, but the entire country. And he feels like this season they got even better. You have the return, obviously, of the quarterback. And if we just talked a little bit about the fact that Tulsa has the ability to kind of mix and match their quarterbacks, Friends University has the same ability. Whether you're going to go with the returning All-American level dude, Kavonte Baker, or you're going to pay attention a little bit more to DJ Dingle, they can both do things in the RPO game that are going to be very difficult for anybody in the country to stop. And then when you have running backs like Elias Pino, Nick Cordova, Caden Rigsby to go alongside somebody like a Kavonte Baker that can take off and run with it, same can be said with DJ Dingle. This team athletically is going to be very difficult to stop. Everybody in Ottawa country is aware of what the Falcons were just able to do recently, but it's not just them. It's the fact that when you look at the KCAC standings right now, you have 4 teams that are undefeated. In my opinion, it's going to come down to more often than not those 4 teams. But Ottawa is not out of it yet. Ottawa does have a very good quarterback, and they do have a lot of capable talent. They just got to find a way to kind of solidify. If you're going to look at some of the positives for Ottawa in the game against Friends University, this is the best rushing attack in America, and it's not even all that close. And they only scored 38 points on you. So it'll be exciting to see what the KCAC race ends up being. Obviously, Evangel last year had a massive season. Friends University did too, but that's going to be a big matchup. Southwestern College is currently gaining some votes in the top 25, hovering in that 26 range. The Friends Falcons are ranked number 21 in the country. And the end of the season matchups against Bethel and Evangel in Wichita are not only going to be epic, but they are going to spell a big case for why this Friends University Falcon Ball Club could not only end up winning the KCAC, but finding themselves in a position to do more, to win some rings, to do some things for Coach Harrison. This team is very difficult to prepare for. It's the same reason why you see somebody like a Navy or an Air Force or an Army West Point be so hard to stop. In games against top 25, Division I, Power 4 ball clubs, it's because you can't replicate that in practice. Unless you have 3-4 dudes who are good enough to rush for 100 yards per game, it's going to be very difficult to replicate what Friends University can do in practice. And then if you were to key on Kavonte Baker, they have DJ Dingle right there at the other quarterback spot. So if they mix and match, you have so many problems. If the defense continues to play at this level, and if the offense can find ways to at least keep defenses honest and put the ball up through the air, it's going to be interesting to see what the Falcons are able to do throughout the course of the season. My money's on them with the KCAC as it was before the season started. I cannot wait to see what they do outside of the KCAC, because sometimes it's about the bigger picture. You can't lead the country 3 years in a row in basically every rushing category and it not equal some trophies, some rings, some winning type of dream seasons. I feel it's here for both the Cowboys and the Falcons. And I wanted to say thank you to our buddy at Tree City Sniper, a.k.a. Mr. McClure. Keep doing your thing, brother, man. Good interviews, good breakdowns. And again, the Ottawa Braves do have a lot to look forward to. And one of them being is you got the juggernaut of the Friends Falcons out of the way. All righty, y'all. Please feel free to go check out my show, Locked On Oklahoma State. Go check out everything that Mr. McClure has going, because CJ is the best in the game, and he's trying to keep building and building his brand to offer you guys more and more product. So I'm appreciative. I'm here for it. I'm along for the ride. Hopefully we get to link up sometime in the KCAC travels. All righty, y'all. As always, God bless. Go Pokes. Thank you for tuning in to make this part of your day. Check out what CJ has going every single day, as well as the Ottawa Braves. All righty, y'all. As I say with my call-off sign, I love you. God bless. Go Pokes. And later, my taters.
And our last special guest is none other than our friend Jeremy. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I'm just here to talk real quick about Utah football, what we saw from that Baylor game, and then touch a little bit on what we can expect to see going forward against Utah State next week, or this week. So what we saw was Cam Rising doing his Cam Rising thing. You know, he had 8 completions for 92 yards off of 14 attempts. Another 2 touchdowns. I think he's up to 7 now with only playing a total of 4 quarters over 2 games. It's really fun to see him back out there. Really seems like he's kind of knocking that rust off. Unfortunately, you know, we did see just before halftime him go down with a hand injury. I'm not claiming to be an insider by any means, but it looks like it's, from what I'm hearing, a cut on the hand, a laceration that will probably have him out for the Utah State game. And next week the week after we'll be able to see him against Oklahoma State. You know, it was good to see our running back core back out in the field. Mekhi Bernard with another over 100 yard game, 19 carries for 118 total. We got to see a little bit of Dijon Stanley again. He's been being a standout, especially against SUU. It'll be interesting to see him against Utah State. I think we'll see a lot more of the run game there, but we'll get into that in a little bit. We got to see some of Money Parks out there. It's always great to see him catching the ball. You know, he caught 3 passes for 80 yards, got a touchdown. It's really fun to see this whole team back out in the field. On the defensive side of things, you know, we're a very defense-heavy team. It's always fun to watch the defense. So we got to see Nate Ritchie with 4 tackles, 1 for a loss. We got to see Connor O'Toole for 2 sacks and Van Fillinger for the other. The thing that has me scared moving forward is that special teams. I'm not sure what's going on. Only hitting 1 out of 3 field goals. Thankfully, both extra points, but it's just an unfortunate thing to see because defense and special teams have been our strong suits for a long time. We'll see if they can fix it going forward. I don't know if it was just an oversight on their part, but we'll see moving forward. What we saw out of Baylor was interesting, though. You know, I think that they are a really good quarterback shy of having a solid team. Unfortunately, Utah's defense was able to hold DeQuan Finn to 9 completions off 21 attempts for 115 yards. A couple of standouts on Baylor's side of things that I found very interesting was to see their, Dawson Pendergrass. He was really good out of their running back room. 9 carries for 69 yards is pretty solid. I think if they can really figure out their offense, they got a very strong defense. They could be really good next season as long as they can get their offense figured out. So, you know, they had, Jackie Marshall for their sack, one of their sacks, and Trevin Mae and Garmin Randolph combining for the other. just overall, really fun, entertaining game. Unfortunately for Utah, it didn't end up being a blowout, but that's Big 12 football, I guess. That's something we're going to have to get used to. What we can expect to see moving forward into the Utah State game, standouts and people to watch for Utah State, I would say, is their quarterback, Bryson Barnes. Former Ute, it'll be interesting to see him go up against us. And on the defensive side of ball, Ike Larson. He's one of their linebackers. He could be really good. He'll definitely be really interesting to watch. I think what we'll see out of Utah in this next game is we'll see not Bryson Barnes. We'll see Isaac Wilson come out to start the game. I think that will open up the playbook a lot for him. Have him thrown a lot more than usual. Really give him a chance to showcase his arm strength. Not saying that Utah State's a bad team. They unfortunately have had a lot of off-the-field issues with their program and their school, and that's bled into their team a little bit, unfortunately. So it's really sad to see where they're at. I think that they are scraping together a pretty good season. And I'm really excited for this game. It'll be fun. Utah State fans are always a lot of fun. So I think we'll get to see Isaac Wilson opening up about a bit more, really have him showcase his arm strength, and then we'll be leaning on our run game to finish out everything. So it'll be a lot of fun to watch. We'll see if their defense and Ike Larson can really step up and hold us to anything, or if we'll be able to just do our Utah thing and run right through them. So thanks for having me on. It's fun as always. Well, fun for the first time, and can't wait to keep doing this.
Man, this has been an exciting episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us again today. We cannot wait to bring you even more wonderful, wonderful sports stories from what's going on in the world of sports in Kansas. As always, thank you so much to AM Creations for making our shirts. You guys make some awesome custom shirts, hats, cups, keychains, and a bunch of other amazing custom products. Go check out AM Creations. And our friend Royal's mom Rita at RJN Photography. Look them up on their Facebook page and book them for all of your photography needs. And our buddy Drew at DNN Detailing. Again, the car show is right around the corner. This weekend is the tractor show. Then next weekend we have the car show. When you want to get your car detailed up nice and show ready, hit up my buddy Drew at DNN Detailing. He'll take care of you. And last but absolutely not least, we want to give the biggest shout out in the world to Arrowhead Nutrition, especially for sponsoring our Kansas Athlete Spotlight. We thank Jared and his entire team for all of the support they give us here at Tree City Sports, and we want to make sure that we are bringing great content, not only for the community of Ottawa, not just for us, not just for Arrowhead Nutrition, but everybody that has an interest in sports in Kansas. Thank you, Jared, and your entire team for everything that you do for Tree City Sports. And I guess it's time to wrap it up, but until next time, y'all take care now.